We have a battle report with Imperial Guard fighting Sisters and Imperial Guard on the Emperor's Will. So there are two objectives. There's one objective back here on the Sisters side, and there's an objective. Where's yours?
It's in here.
Oh, got an objective here on the Imperial Guard side. On the Imperial Guard's force, what you got? Two Basilisks, one Bastion with who's inside it?
My company command squad inside it with Creed.
Creed, the Color Guard, and the company command squad, which has what? Astropath.
And officer of the fleet.
Officer of the fleet. On top are those veterans?
Platoon Squad.
Platoon Squad with the Icarus, the not twin-linked Icarus las cannon.
You're the most like the Emperor of anybody else.
Heavy weapon squad with missile launchers.
Yeah, all missile launchers.
There's two Chimera. What's inside them?
Just regular infantry platoon guys with flamers.
Bunch of guys with flamers. A Manitcore. And then in reserve, he's got two Vendettas, a Leman Russ, which is outflanking. As are the Vendettas. They're coming by outflank.
They both have veterans in them.
With vets in them. Are these the veterans? Oh, and stormtroopers.
Yeah.
And then on the Sisters side, so the Sisters have two Exorcists here in the back. They have a Repentia. They have a Chimera Psyker with Life Leech and Endurance. They have a Veteran Squad with two Plasmas, one Las Cannon. They have a Rhino with 7 Death Cult Assassins, 2 Crusaders, and Uriah Jacobus. They have 3 Penitent Engines, and then they've got a bunch of Ratlings that infiltrated here into this terrain. On the Sisters Reserve, they've got St. Celestine with a group of Seraphim, 2 groups of Battle Sisters, 2 Scout Sentinels, and some Dominions with Meltas, in an Immolator with Meltas. And it is night fighting, with the Imperial Guard going first. Sisters did not manage to steal the initiative. We've identified the objectives to the start of the game because we're sitting above them. This one blows up, potentially it's booby-trapped, and the Sisters have a scatter field. Guard movement was pretty simple. The one Chimera over here rolls up through the forest. The other one just slams right into a tree, damaging his hull, taking a hull point, and immobilizing himself. So the Guard have done a lot of shooting after they drove through that terrain and immobilized themselves. The Chimeras light up the Searchlight, light up these Pent Engines, and the remnants of that Guard squad over there. And then Creed there gives a bunch of orders, take it down so that they can twin-link these Penitent Engines and the missile launchers and the Icarus las cannon, shoot at him, knocking one hull point off this guy. And then the badness happens. The Basilisks? Yeah. Basilisks just demolish the Guard, killing a whole bunch of them, leaving my las cannon and 2 Guard over there who make their morale check so they're not running. And finally, the Manitcore drops 3 Manticore missiles here on these Penitent Engines, ripping an arm off this one and doing a hull point. And it is on to Sisters. So Sisters start with 6 faith points. Uriah's with them, but they're not going to reroll, and we're going to go into Sisters movement has happened. The Guard got a 2-inch move through cover, meaning that the heavy weapons guys actually had to move, so they're going to snap fire. Repentia and the Chimera Cycle go running through open fields up towards those Chimeras. 12-inch move on that Rhino, up behind the building. Rattlings don't move. Penitent Engines walk up here. The Exorcist kind of turns, and that other Exorcist drives 6 inches, and we're done with Sisters movement. The actual running part is done. Penitent Engines get 1 inch run, and the Repentia get a 3 inch run, and they're done running. Rhino there snap-fired some missile launchers on the roof. Got nothing. The guys inside the Rhino threw a crack grenade at a Chimera. Did nothing, and we're going to get the better shooting. Sisters don't really try to do anything, as it turns out. They don't really like fighting the Guard. Too much armor. Rattlings shoot a bunch of guys in a building. They're sniping them. They hit a bunch of times with rending, but the guys in the building just go to ground and get a 2-up save because it's night fighting, which just ended. Las Cannon does not roll 6 to hit the Chimeras. Exorcists shoot a bunch of times. They don't hit anything. Well, they do hit, but they just don't even glance. And we're done with Sisters shooting, so we're on to round 2. Sadness for the Sisters. So at the beginning of the Guard round, they've got an Astropath giving them a 2-up coming in on their reserves. Everything came in. 2 Vendettas. They're separate. They're not in a squadron with the veterans inside them. The outflanking Leman Russ and the Stormtroopers who just plopped down out of a Stormtrooper drop from the sky right here into right behind the Exorcist. And are your veterans aren't getting out, or they are?
They are not.
All right, so veterans stay in the Vendettas. Right, Guard movement is done. The only other movement is that Chimera rolls forward. And he's on to casting orders at the top of shooting. So the first blood has been scored. Those Stormtroopers melt the back out of the Exorcist here, and then lose 5 in the explosion. And the Vendettas, Twin Link Las Cannon taking a hull point off the Exorcist, and this one just wrecks a Penitent Engine. But doesn't the Stormtroopers do run 11 inches at the Repentia? It's a strange direction to run when you're running from an explosion, but it's what they're doing. Luckily for the Sisters, who are really kind of losing so far, the artillery shots come in. Both Basilisks missed that Rhino, and the Exorcist is missed by the Manitcore, who shot 3 missiles in front of it. And I don't think anything else, right?
Nope.
Nothing else. So, I don't know if I covered this earlier, but the Primera Psyker, the Sister Dominatrix, whatever she's called, with the Repentia, they get just mowed down, and the only thing that's keeping Repentia around is that they're fearless. So we've seen a lot of slaughtering. So at the start of Sisters round 2, they have a number of faith points, which is beginning of outflanking. The Dominion squad there came in. These Scout Sentinels came in. This Scout Sentinel gets shot by the Icarus Las Cannon, which cannot shoot the rest of this round, or turn. He lost a hull point and lost his multi-laser. And we're going to go into actual Sisters movement. Movement is done. These Repentia come running up here. Guard don't move. Exorcist moves a little bit to get out of shooting from that Vendetta. This Penitent Engine runs towards a building so that the Leman Russ can't shoot him, because he can't charge the Leman Russ this round. Rattlings don't move. That Rhino comes rolling up 12 inches, and we're going to move into shooting. Oh, the Dominions got out onto that building. Sisters shooting is done. The Chimera there got blown up, and then like 4 guys died in the shooting and explosion that ensued. That was from the Las Cannon. This Penitent Engine is running, ran over, hiding behind the building. Exorcist shot at the Vendetta. Nothing. Doesn't hit. We took the heavy flamer off the Manitcore, and it has 1 hull point left. These guys cannot hit the Basilisks, which are standing right in front of them. The Rattlings shoot the snipers on the roof, pretty much, or shoot the Rattling snipers, shoot the guys on the roof, do nothing at all. And I don't think there was any other shooting. There's no actual combat that's going to go on, because those Repentia don't manage to get their charge, but they're still going to get rapid fired down, and we're going to see if they even live this turn. Because they get hit done with Sisters round 2, and we're on to Guard round 3. It's not looking too good for the Sisters, actually. Not looking good at all. These Stormtroopers do actually rally. They're getting their 3 inches of move, but they're they're not able to do much else this round. So on round 3 for Guard, this Vendetta is in hover mode and has turned around and dropped some veterans. This Vendetta is still zooming, and it's flying up on the face of this Penitent Engine. These veterans jump out of the back of the Chimera, and that was it for movement. At the beginning of shooting, these guys with missiles hit this Rhino. The Emperor loves it, gives it one of its invulnerable saves, but it is taking a hull point and is now shaken. Guard shooting, and it was bad for the Sisters. There was some badness for the Guard too. These Basilisks shot at an Exorcist, scattered 12 inches, killing most of the guard there, who make a double one on their leadership, so they're just hunkered down. We don't know if they're pinned, though. These Stormtroopers took a wound off the las cannon there with snap shooting. That Leman Russ shot the back of this Rhino, and it wrecked, so Uriah and his group of abhuman death cult assassins jump out. What else happened? The Dominions were shot down, losing 2, and they're running. Penitent Engine got shot in the face by 3 twin-linked las cannons, and it just dies. And was there any other shooting? I think that was it. So there was a lot of losses on the sister side. So far, they're not doing well in this fight. So the sisters have actually started their movement or finished their movement phase. None of their reserves came in. They have 6 faith points, which doesn't matter much because there's only 1 unit on the board that can use them. These Dominions rallied. They're standing right there. This doesn't move. Death Cult Assassins and Crusaders and Uriah come moving up to the building, but it has an exploding objective in it, so they're not moving past the exploding range. Rattlings don't move. These guys don't move. And this thing can't move. We're done with sisters shooting. The Manitcore is finally killed by the multi-melta on the Immolator. This Dominion squad over here kills a single guard with a bolt gun because they were snap firing. Uriah does nothing when he shoots the guys behind him. Rattlings, they've actually accomplished nothing so far. These guys over here, this group of guard veterans, they shoot the other veterans. Nothing happens. Exorcist blows up the Vendetta. And 1 hull point was taken off this Basalisk, so we're going to move into assault. Bottom of 3, the only assault that goes on is these Scout Sentinels charge this Basalisk. They break the Basilisk gun off it and do 1 more hull point. So we've finished round 4 guard movement. This group of veterans comes running away from the potential assault of a bunch of abhuman beastmen, death cult assassins. This Vendetta is enter hover mode and turns around so it can shoot people. Leman Russ rolls forward. Those veterans move towards the objective that they want, and the Stormtroopers are very close to my guard, probably getting ready to shoot them. The only other ones is this group of veterans. They kind of move into the terrain, and that's it for movements. We're at the top of shooting. For the first time, Creed got 4 orders, but only 3 of them went off. A lot of first rank fire, second rank fire, except this is twin linked now, bringing it down against a vehicle, which could be a bunch of scouts. We're done with Alright, now we're done with Guard 4. Exorcist gets killed by the Icarus las cannon that was twin-linked from Bring It Down. That Leman Russ and a bunch of other people kill every death cult assassin in there, leaving just 2 Crusaders and Uriah. The Dominion squad here is brought down by those guys with flamers and las guns. Those guard over there, the heavy weapon platform was killed, so they are running. And we're on to Sisters 4, which means everyone who's in reserve is coming in, but we're going to see how this goes. So, Sisters round 4, bottom of 4, and thanks to the Master of the Fleet, we didn't bring reserves in until 4 for the most part, but St. Celestine and some Seraphim land right here. They take dangerous train tests and they're okay. These girls come walking in on the backside. They're just walking in from reserve. Those guard failed their morale, so they're still running from their previous being shot down. And we're going to actually do our rest of our movement now. Movement's kind of limited because we don't have many models left. The Immolator rolls up on these guard because they can't hurt it, but it's going to be able to shoot some things. These guys are standing here. Those girls come walking out on the edge of the board. Those 2 veterans run like little girls. Uriah and his squad have come up the edge of the building towards the missileers, and no one else can move. So we're done with Sisters shooting, and it's actually gone very well for the Sisters. The Seraphim here, one of which died in the explosion, but the others with the Inferno pistols blew up the Bastion, doing 40 wounds to guys on top and inside, killing everyone, including the Warlord. So we just killed the Warlord. This Basilisk you don't see here, it got blown up by a multi-laser. The Immolator took the multi-laser off that Chimera, shooting it in the back. These Rattlings killed 1 Stormtrooper. Another one was killed by a fleeing guardsman who snapshot it. Leman Russ got blown up by the combo multi-melta in the back, even with snap shooting. And then those 3 veterans that you don't see were killed by the sisters here in the back. And we're on to assaults, which are going to be this group assaulting that Basalisk, and Uriah and his squad assaulting the Missileers. We're done with Sisters round 4. We're done with the assaults. Uriah and his squad of Crusaders, the one Abhuman Crusader and then the one with the normal Crusader, they're locked in combat with the Missile Squad. Each Missileer has 1 wound, but they made their double 1 morale check. And no one else can assault, so we're on to round 5, which is Guard round 5. And it is a very close game. So Guard movement is done. That Vendetta goes back to zooming, flies over, grab, shoot, inserts a bunch of veterans, of which only 1 with a plasma dies, and Guard vets with plasma die anyways. These guys are coming in towards the objective. It blows up, but you can stay outside the range and still claim it. Those guys move through terrain. Those stormtroopers also move through terrain, heading towards the objective, and that was it for Guard movement. So Guard shooting is done. This group of sisters just gets, well, the important ones get mowed down. As you'll notice, no Superior, no Meltas, no multi-Meltas. So everyone that could blow up a Vendetta is dead. Rattlings are still, they're just standing there. Nothing's happened to them. They haven't done anything to anyone themselves. Basilisk, because it's indirect fire, totally missed the group of girls in the back. And I think we're done with shooting. These guys in the shooting phase run up here, and we're moving on to assaults, which will be Uriah, I believe. So we're finished with Guard round 5. In this assault, they lose 1 guy. We don't know if they're going to break and run yet, but they have no other assaults. So we'll see if they're going to run.
Leadership of 6. Okay.
They're still standing fast. So Sister on the reroll because of Uriah gets 6 faith points, and they got no one else to come in from reserve, so we're gonna move on for the other stuff. Movement is done. These scout sentinels come walking up on the Basilisk. It's a very lucky Basilisk. Nothing has happened to it all game. Seraphim Squad comes over here. This is the one with the Inferno pistols. St. Celestine breaks off and looks at these guys who are in nice flaming position. Immolator comes right up behind this Chimera. The Rattlings, who have accomplished nothing all game, are still accomplishing nothing. They're just standing there. And the reason the Seraphim moved here was to get Linebreaker, because he could end on this round 5. Those sisters cluster up near the objective. These do the Civil War gun formation. They're walking 6 inches towards the objective. And the Guard actually made their leadership, so they're now clustered here. Not doing much, but they don't score yet. They're not within 3 inches. And we're going to move on to Sisters shooting. They shoot many times at the Stormtroopers. So do the Guard in the back of the building. The Stormtroopers make every save you could make, so they're just rock solid. These vets, though, take like 2 wounds and are running. They ran 2 inches. We ignore the Vendetta. Rattlings shoot many times, don't hit anything. Uriah was locked in combat, which he won on the assault phase, so he's standing above the objective. St. Celestine flamed the heck out of all these guards, leaving 1 guy who ran. And then there's an Immolator here that blew up the Chimera. The last Basilisk got blown up by the Inferno pistols. Celestine decides to charge this guy to wipe him out. He makes his morale. She fails her charge distance, and he's standing there, having made a morale check, so he regrouped. And we're on the bottom of 5, so does the game end?
I already rolled it.
Oh, it's a 6, sorry. And I rolled a 4 anyway, so game doesn't end. We're going to see how the Guard do here. As we get near the end of the game, we have far fewer models. These platoon guys, or are they vets?
There's regular infantry.
All right, so these regular infantry come running through terrain. They're now contesting the objective. The other guy is on the backside. He's also contesting. Stormtroopers right here. They're coming up on these girls, and this group of veterans that jumped out of the Vendetta, they're still running. The Vendetta entered hover mode, and we're going to go into Guard shooting. Right now, I think it's a tied game, because we have Linebreaker and Warlord, and you have Linebreaker and First Blood, and, well, I guess we hold an objective.
I do too, technically. He's in range.
Yeah, but I contest it, so it's unclaimed.
Oh, yeah.
So if the Stormtroopers charge the Sisters or run, they could contest the objective. So right now the Sisters are winning, but the Guard could potentially...
That's my plan.
Vendetta, twin link las cannon. These girls are all standing in the open. Hit once, roll the 1. Even though it's twin linked, it hit only once. So it's the Emperor's will. So we're done with the shooting for the guard. There was a lot of running. These guys ran up, so they're all in cover near the objective. These guys are still running. They snap fire. They don't do anything. The stormtroopers aren't going to shoot because they want to charge the girls, and they are afraid of killing one of them. So they're charging on the assault, and the girls are going to overwatch them with rapid fire. So the stormtroopers make their charge. One of them goes down from overwatch, and we're going to find out if they have frag grenades. At the end of Guard 6, stormtroopers assault in. They make the assault. They engage with the girls. We're still having the debate here at Epic Loot whether you get your basic attack plus the pistol. We rolled it both ways just because this is worth points. And the sisters killed the 2 stormtroopers. And Justin calls it because we're going to hold this objective. He can't stop them. And that objective at best will be contested. So the sisters will win by 1 objective. So it's actually a very, very close game.